As bad as the Democrats' beating was on Tuesday, pundits are already predicting that the worst is yet to come. In this video, we're going to see how Virginia and New Jersey have historically been bellwethers for the upcoming midterms, how even Democrat operatives are saying that yes, it's indeed time to panic, and stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll reveal why the new Republican Party is turning into what could be the single largest political coalition in our nation's history. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone, Patriots all across the globe. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you as always. As you know, we've been celebrating an anniversary this week. It was 5 years ago this very week that we started this YouTube channel, and look at how far we've come. So in celebration of our 5-year anniversary, we're discounting tickets to our upcoming Patriot Live event on November 12th and 13th by 40%, where you're going to learn how to participate in and help build parallel structures totally free from all things woke. But gang, they're going fast. We have less than 100 general admission tickets left, and today's the last day to take advantage of the 40% discount. So you cannot wait. Click on that link below. Register at a 40% discount for a virtual conference that's going to teach you how to lead your family to freedom without sacrificing your beliefs, values, or God-given rights, and build a society free from all things woke. Again, we got less than 100 tickets left. Today's the last day for the crazy discount, so do not wait. Click on that link in the description below, and let's build back the nation that we know and love together. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Pundits across the nation are indeed recognizing that this last Tuesday's elections were an ominous warning sign to the Democrats that the worst is yet to come. If the Democrats suffered such huge losses in predominantly blue states and districts, which they did, that spells disaster of epic proportions for the upcoming midterms. The calculus is relatively simple here. Historically speaking, as Gallup has tracked for decades, historically speaking, when a president is underwater, that is, when a president is under 50% approval, we can expect to see a loss of an average of 37 seats in the House for the president's party. As we speak, President Brandon's approval has sunk below 40%. The latest Trafalgar poll, which, by the way, kudos to Trafalgar because they were the only ones who got New Jersey right. They were the only polling outfit that saw the gubernatorial race as very, very close. But their latest poll has Biden sinking to just 39% approval. The latest Quinnipiac poll has Brandon barely clinging up to life at 37%. And the latest Zogby poll has Brandon's approval rating cratering to an utterly humiliating 36.4%. So we've got 3 independent back-to-back polls of the last couple of weeks, all showing Biden in the 30s. Obviously, that stat alone, given Gallup's average loss for a president underwater, being in the 30s alone spells disaster for the Democrats in the midterms. But what's also so concerning for the Democrats is how Virginia and New Jersey tend to be bellwethers for the midterms. Now, check this out. Vox is reporting that as of the last 16 governor's elections in these two states since 1989, the incumbent president's party has lost 15 of them. The one exception was back in 2013 when Terry McAuliffe won while Barack Obama was president. Now that, of course, fits with the general trend of the pendulum swing where the president's party loses seats in the midterms. But what we're getting here with what happened this last Tuesday is we're not simply seeing a predictable cycle playing itself out. Instead, we're seeing massive double-digit swings away from the Democrats into the Republicans. So, for example, the Texas House seat in San Antonio district, that's 73% Latino, and they voted for Biden by 14 points. They flipped on Tuesday to a conservative Republican, which represented a 15-point shift towards the Republicans. And that's all par for the course in what we saw in the Rio Grande region of Texas over the last few months, where blue district after blue district has been defecting and turning red. It was even more dramatic in Virginia, where there was a Republican shift in almost every single corner in the state. Youngkin won more votes than any of his Republican predecessors in all but a half dozen of Virginia's 133 counties. Now, this massive shift to the right spells disaster for the Democrats in the midterms. The last time we saw such an extraordinary shift was back in 2009 with Bob McDonnell when he won the governorship. And that was a bellwether for the 2010 midterms, where the Republicans won even more seats than they did back in the 1994 Gingrich Revolution. So if that's the case, 2022 could indeed be the mother of all midterms. So we've got the pendulum swing working in our favor, and we've got the Virginia and Jersey bellwether working in our favor. But there's another reason why the worst is yet to come for the Democrats, and that is the inconvenient truth that the Democrats have lost the culture wars. Now, we've been tracking with this for years, and I have to say, I think a lot of the despair and blackpilling that patriots have felt over the years comes from this sense that we're losing the culture wars, and that, of course, was perfectly justifiable given the dominance of rhinos over the Republican Party, who ceded the culture to the far left. But all that changed with the rise of Trump and the MAGA-based America First Patriot movement, who took the culture wars to the media, pushed it to take on CRT, critical race theory, and the like. We've moved the culture wars decisively in our favor. I definitely want to recommend you reading my colleague Conrad Franz's piece on Turley Talks on how patriots have taken over the culture wars. It's a fantastic piece. And Democrats are admitting this. They're admitting that the right is winning the culture wars. But before we get into that, just as a reminder, if you like my shirts, you can get one for yourself. Make sure to click on the link below. We got some brand new Let's Go Brandon shirts that you're going to absolutely love, plus a whole line of Patriot designs. They're a limited edition, so they're not going to be around for long. So click on that link below. Get one for yourself. Get one for your friends as an early Christmas present. They're going to absolutely love you for it. All right, so Democratic strategist James Carville is openly stating that what he calls ridiculous wokeness is primarily responsible for the Democrats' humiliating defeat on Tuesday. And I'm very appreciative of the insightful analysis of another liberal, progressive named Kevin Drum. He's a former staffer for the Washington Monthly. And he sees precisely how the culture wars are causing a major political realignment to the right. Quote, despite endless hopeful invocations of, but polls show that people like our positions, the truth is that the Democratic Party has been pulled far enough left that even lots of non-crazy people find us just plain scary, something that Fox News takes vigorous advantage of. From an electoral point of view, the story here is consistent. Democrats have stoked the culture wars by getting more extreme on social issues, and Republicans have used this to successfully cleave away a segment of both the non-college white vote and, more recently, the non-college non-white vote. And of course, what he's referring to here, at least in part, is what happened back in 2016, where nearly 200 counties in states like Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan, Pennsylvania, that had previously voted for every single Democratic presidential candidate in every single election since 1984, suddenly swung over and voted for Trump by a comparable 20-point margin. And what's exacerbating this political realignment, of course, is the fact that the vast majority of these non-college grad voters are parents. And they've woken up to the fact that their schools are teaching their children all kinds of Marxist nonsense. And so this is why Democrat strategists are beginning to freak out that the Republican Party is becoming, in the words of a former Obama advisor, the GOP is becoming the parent party. Parents are flocking to the GOP, not conservatives, not ideologues, parents. Glenn Youngkin in Virginia won 56% of parents. This shift alone has the potential of turning the GOP into one of the most massive political coalitions ever seen in American politics. As the Democrats go further and further left in their warped vision of the culture wars, they're completely abandoning the centrist non-college white and non-college non-white voter, both of whom are turning in droves to the GOP. Remember, non-college grads make up 60% of the American population. This is a political realignment that's already shown some astonishing results in Virginia and New Jersey, and it promises to be nothing short of a political earthquake in 2022. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video on the school board president who got caught on a hot mic saying F you to parents at a school board meeting. It is going to absolutely make your day. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.